Welcome to class. My name is Gladys. I'm your pattern drafting teacher. In this video, you will learn how to draft easy fitting elastic waist knee-length short for an average child of 4 and a small 5 years old. The measurements will be needed for this draft are hip circumference, waist to hip length, waist to crotch length, waist to knee length, round thigh measurement, and round knee measurement. In this draft, the hip circumference is 24 inches, the waist to hip length is 6 inches, the waist to crotch depth is 8 inches, the waist to knee length 14 inches, round thigh measurement 17 inches, and round knee measurement is 13 inches. To begin, measure and mark 1 inch below the top edge of your pattern paper, and this is the waistline of the draft. All length measurements begins from that point. Place your tape measure 1 inch above the waistline for length measurement. This is because this short has 1 inch elastic waistband, and on that point I'll be measuring waist to hip length, which is 6 inches in this draft. This is the hip line of the draft. Next is the crotch depth. To measure the crotch depth, again place your tape measure 1 inch above the waistline and go ahead and mark the crotch depth. In this draft, it is 8 inches. So another point, I'll mark 8 inches and also roll across. This is the crotch depth of this draft. Next is the length of the short. The length is 14 inches. On a point 1 inch above the waistline, go ahead and mark 14 inches. After which, also roll across. This is the hemline of the draft. Again, here is the waistline, and this is the hip line, and here is the crotch depth, and here is the hem. On the waistline, measure and mark 1/4 of hip measurement plus 1 each is. The hip measurement for this draft is 24 inches. 24 divided by 4 is 6 inches. I'll be adding 1 inch to that, giving a total of 7 inches. On the waistline, mark 7 inches. And on the crotch line, also mark 7 inches. Connect both points with a straight line. This is the center front of the draft. For the crotch extension, measure and mark round thigh measurement on the crotch line. The round thigh measurement of this draft is 17 inches. This is a fairly loose measurement, so I'll be using half of that on the crotch line. Half of 17 inches is 8.5 inches. If you are not sure of this measurement, go ahead and mark 1.5 inches on the center front line on that crotch level for the crotch extension. After which, connect the crotch curve to the center front line. On the hemline, mark half of round knee measurement. To give the hem a little curve, mark 1/4 inch in from the side seam. And after which, on that point, measure half of round knee measurement. Round knee measurement for this draft is 13 inches. Half of that is 6.5 inches. So go ahead and mark 6.5 inches from the 1/4 inch point. After marking the 6.5 inches, I'll be connecting the 1/4 inch point to the crotch line on the side seam. And on the inner seam, I'll be connecting that to the crotch extension point. This gives a little shape on the hem. You could actually measure your round knee measurement from the side seam. The round thigh measurement and the round knee measurement are fairly loose measurements. I'll be drafting the back over the front. To do that, on the center front at the waist, measure 1 inch beyond the center front. And on that point, go up by ½ inch. From the point above, roll the back waistline to the side seam. For the back crotch extension, measure and mark 1 inch beyond the front crotch extension. Connect the back crotch curve from the front crotch extension point to the point above. This is the in seam of the draft, and here is the out seam. On the hemline, measure 1 inch beyond the out seam. Another point, connect to the back crotch extension point above. The blue line shows the front pattern and the red line shows the back pattern. To draft the pocket, I will take this to my tracing table, place another pattern paper underneath and trace out the back pattern. Here I'm simply tracing out the back pattern. After tracing, cut out the back pattern. Also, go ahead and cut out the front pattern. Here I have the front and back patterns. I'll be drafting the pockets on the front pattern. On the waistline, measure 1 inch in on the side seam and measure 4.5 inches down the waistline. Connect the pocket curve from the point above to the point below. You could use a straight line or a curved line. This totally depends on the shape you want for your pocket curve. So this is the hand entry of the pocket. To draft the pocket bag, measure 3.5 inches in from the 1 inch point on the waistline above. And on the crotch line, go in 4.5 inches. Connect the point above to the point below. Curve the pocket bag as shown. This totally depends on the shape desired. You could actually trace the straight line for the pocket bag. Trace out the pocket bag and prepare the patterns for sewing. Here I've traced out the pocket. After which, go ahead and cut out the hand entry point on the pattern. Cut out the traced pocket bag. With this, we have the pocket bag pattern. So one more thing is the pocket bag pattern facing. Yes, the pocket bag has the inner part, the facing. So to mark the facing, place the pocket bag on another pattern paper. The facing of the pocket bag is straight, so you do not need to curve it in. That's the part that will be showing. That's the part that will be showing outside when the pocket is sewn. With this, all patterns are ready to be transferred to fabric. After which, add sewing allowances and go ahead and sew your short. To join our kiddies online class, you can send me a message on WhatsApp or type interested in the comments so that I will send you the detail. In that class, you'll be learning how to sew. One of the things you'll be learning how to sew in that class is kiddies turn-up hem short, just like the one you are seeing right now. So to join that class, send me a message on WhatsApp, type interested, and I'll give you details on how to join the class. On this particular tutorial, this will be all for now. See you in my next class. Bye.